Welcome back to another episode of the Sober Motivation Podcast. Today I've got Chester and Rick Duff here in studio. First ever in-person podcast recording. How's it going, boys?
Good yourself?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we're doing very good. Nice drive here.
Yeah.
Leaving Montreal, coming to Toronto.
I'm popped up, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we'll start with Chester, man. What was it like for you growing up?
It was a nice childhood with a loving family. My dad was a cop. My mom was a stay-at-home for like maybe 2, 3, 4 years of my life. Then she found a job, and they were involved in my with school, sports, and stuff. And I have a brother, a big brother, and we're best friends since forever. And we just played along and stuff, and I was pretty happy. But at some point when I got in school, I realized that I was an outsider. Didn't do well in school at all. I was ADHD with no medication and stuff, and it was pretty hard for me to concentrate, focus.
Still hard.
Yeah. Party pooper. Get out of here. No cake for you. And focus, man. See? but for real, it was really hard for me. Didn't do great in school, and then I was put on Ritalin and Adderall and stuff, and my grades did better, but still I was still an outsider. I was stuttering a lot and was picked on with that, and it was pretty hard for me to just fit in and to express myself. It was really hard because I felt like nobody would understand what I was saying, and it was really hard. And I was coming back home and was crying in my mom's arms, and was just devastated every day of my life because kids sometimes are really mean, and so it's kind of hard when you don't have no value of yourself, and you don't have this experience in life where you just can put things aside and be more focused on what you do great in your life. I'm good at sports. I'm a polite young man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that too. It's interesting. Very relatable story too. I never did well in school, struggled with ADHD, got on medication, always seeing therapists and doctors, and it felt like everybody was just trying to figure out what was going on. But I find too, and maybe relatable to you, that really destroyed my self-esteem, confidence when everybody else would celebrate their test scores. And it's hey, how did you do? And I just remember vaguely, I would just want to get that in my backpack as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I started lying too. Really started lying to other people, to sort of maybe protect myself a little bit from what I knew was coming.
From judgment.
Yeah. From what
and
other
from my
people.
parents as well.
Yeah.
Because my dad was very good at school, and he didn't understand that I could struggle. He understood the fact that I would struggle. All he wanted is for his son to success in school, and he just wanted the best of me.
Yeah. But that's a lot of pressure. Can be if it's not clicking for you, right? It makes sense, right? As parents, you would want the best and to go to school. And I think even more in our generation growing up, which I'm not saying it was forever ago, but I think that was the dream or the way forward, right? You go to school, you get education, and you live happily ever after. Yeah. And we're kind of seeing in today's world, it's not necessarily always the case, but I think that, but in turn of them wanting the best for us, it put a lot of pressure on us to really show up and do well. And then when you don't do well, they're disappointed, we're disappointed. And then when we're younger, what tools do we have on how to navigate the world too of everything we're struggling with? Where did you grow up, Chester?
I was born in Montreal, but I grew up in the suburbs of Montreal. It's called Terrebonne, and in English, like good earth.
That's true.
And,
in English, Tarabon means good. It means good earth.
Yeah.
Good soil.
Yeah. And then I moved when I was like maybe 25 from home. I was living on my friend's couch, and like people were like, "Dude, we love you, but you need to move from here because like I don't want to like be the one who just hates you." But if we come back like, to the school grades and stuff, you know, like the record cards.
Yeah.
It was my nightmare. Every like record cards in school, it was like what's my dad is he gonna be proud of me? Well, I don't think so. But like he didn't do it in a mean way. He just wanted like what's best for me. But he didn't understand that I could like struggle because like with all the bullying and stuff, it was hard for me to focus. Plus ADHD and it was really hard for me, man. It was really hard. And at the age, I think of like 15 or 16, that's when like the drugs came into my life. Because I was introduced like to like marijuana and then like speed, ecstasy, Molly and cocaine, ketamine. And I mean,
cocktail.
And for real, I don't know how I'm still alive. I've always been an intense fella, and so like when I was using intensively, man. It was very intense.
We'll get to that part too. Thanks for sharing that too, for growing up, man. So much of it relatable of how difficult that is. Now I know a lot about Chester because he's been part of the community for months now. I would hate to guess at how many and be wrong because Chester knows his times.
8.
Right to a T. But we've also got Rick Duff with us, and what was it like for you growing up?
Well, same kind of beginning. Very happy family. I have a brother called William. He looks a lot like me. We're best friends. Like we're 1.5 years apart from one and each other. So we've always been close. And I was born in Montreal, then moved to Belgium because my parents started a business that needed them to go to Europe. So I moved there when I was 1 year old and stayed there for 5 or 6 years, if I remember correctly. Came back here in 2000 in Montreal. When I say here in Canada, in the year of 2000, and went to school. Pretty nice everything, man. Nothing was out of hand. No like violence at home or nothing. Just a like normal family. Then my parents split up. Maybe like this is something that not traumatized me, but it's something that played a role it triggered me because I needed to become the man of the house sooner than expected, and I was pretty young at that point, like taking care of my brother. My mother was working, like she left the morning, she came late nights, and I was making breakfast for my brother, then taking him to school, like all of these responsibility that you don't necessarily need to have when you're like 7 years old or 8 years old.
Wow.
And but I lived good with that, and I wasn't that kind of kid. I was like at that point of my life, I was so calm and relaxed, and I used to spend in my room drawing, and I was just a quiet kid. It's more when like the teens came in, where I wanted to more fit in and be more cool and just hang with these kinds of people that I didn't get the chance to hang around with in high school and stuff because I was just so normal.
Yeah.
And I wanted to escape maybe all of these responsibilities that I had younger, and I just wanted to, just flip it off, and this is where I started drinking. But drugs came a little later on. But like, let's say 14, 15, I started drinking with buddies, and I just wanted to be cool. I just wanted to be nice. But other than that, I'd say like for the youngest part of my life, it was pretty relaxed, but nothing like, and like there's nothing so amazing about like my journey with alcohol and drug. It's just that I wanted to be better with myself, so this is why I quit drinking. But pretty normal. Like, I mean, you don't have to struggle a lot to decide and pick up a bottle or snort your first line of cocaine or whatever.
Yeah, very good point there to wrap it up at the end too. Yeah. Like, there's kind of two different stories. I mean, and we have both of them maybe here in a sense, right? You have Chester, who has a different experience with the thing, which I think a lot of people relate to, right? A big struggle from early on with being identity being picked on and not doing well in the classroom and sort of maybe on the outside. I kind of shared it from my story, picked last in gym class type life. You know, I felt like at every turn that was like my experience. Always questioning whether or not I was good enough. Like, where's my value? Everybody seemed to put so much emphasis on the classroom and sports, and like I remember a devastating thing. I mean, I can joke about it and laugh about it now, but it was grade 8, and I was trying out for the soccer team, and everybody made that soccer team in grade 8 it was middle school, and except for me. And my mom came and picked me up after they let off the roster, and there was this one other guy, and I wasn't a great soccer player by any means, but I was a lot better than this other guy, and I was kind of scratching my head. And I told my mom, like, this big lie. I can't remember exactly detail for detail, but it was just such a crushing blow, And then the next Friday, everybody who has made the team has all their shirt and tie on, and I was just kind of the guy. My buddies are wondering what happened, and I realize now it was my attitude. I just had a really bad attitude. It really had nothing to do with.
It's like. You don't want to conform. That's a certain type of attitude that everybody has conformed in the team.
Yeah.
Like, you want to stand out, kid? Yeah, stand out alone.
Yeah. So that was the thing. But, it was kind of like another one of those things, right, that happened. And it wasn't like a one-off story, but it was like things like that happened. And then Rick, you've got sort of the different story of, things were well, right? Even through in that kind of word normal, right? Quote unquote, normal. Things were good. And I think that can be a big misconception of people who could find themselves having a problem with drinking or struggling with drinking, is that some people believe you have to come from some sort of tragic
there's no tragedy. I mean, at some point, I haven't shared a lot about that. I'm not a big sharer. Like, I'm not a big meeting guys and stuff like that, but like, if I can share for the first time here, it's like more of like my dad cheated on my mom, and it caused all that drama around the kids, like
chaos and
like that, all of that chaos that just didn't concern me and my brother that much, but that at some point, as a mother for the first time, or as a father for the first time, because parents are parents for the first time. You're not parents. Like, you don't have 6 lives
on how like to love Rick Duff.
No, but you don't. Yeah, what I mean is you don't have 6 lives, and at some point in this life, you're gonna fuck up with your kids. Can I swear? I'm sorry. Okay, all right. So, and at some points, like, you're gonna mess up, and like. My mom, she got super depressed, and she involved me and my brother into that depression, and we kind of like needed to be there for our mother and be the mans and be the ones that are gonna make everything possible from now on, and like all of these responsibilities and all of this crying and chaos, and this is where it started for me, I think, looking back on it now. And I haven't spoke about that to a lot of person, but yeah, man, it was tough. That period of my life was tough, because now, she was always judging my father. Yeah, he cheated on you, but he wasn't a monster, and now I have this image of my dad as a monster, and I have this image of my foyer with my mom as like it's super depressed, and at some point, and I was like, where do I find my middle ground here? Well, I found it in a bottle of beer, and with my friends partying and out. The more I could sleep somewhere else, the better I was. The more I could sleep at friends' house and like be in like pajama parties and stuff, the more I was happy, man, because I was focusing on something else, and I was seeing happy families, because mine was getting torn apart at some point.
Man, yeah, that's a great share, man.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I think for me that because I wasn't picked on, I wasn't bullied, I wasn't like, I was a little fat, people were calling me fatty at some point, but that wasn't like what got me into like I want to destroy myself with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, it was that situation there, and then maybe it's relatable, maybe it's not. Now you're on the search for now you're looking for some relief.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm looking for the answers right now.
Yeah,
that's
and alcohol checks the boxes, man, early on, right?
Yeah.
Get to connect with other people. You kind of get to forget about
part
things.
of the crew and
meet girls. Speak with girls. Like at some point, you're shy as a young adult, as a young boy. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. And I think like parties and alcohol. Like, sorry to say that, but they're great at some point in your life to socialize,
Yeah.
Because it's normalized also.
It's called liquid courage.
Yeah, liquid courage, exactly, yeah.
And I mean, I think it's important, too, to honor that part of the story, because I think that is the truth for so many, is that there was a point in our life where alcohol wasn't causing all of these
demons,
consequences and everything else in our life, right? Like there was a part for me, too, where I mean, I just loved it, man, to go out and feel like I belong somewhere, to feel like I could connect with people, to connect with girls, because I was always that shy. Like, what did I have to offer? And then now I'm making those connections and things are kind of making sense. And so it checked those boxes and maybe helped us.
It makes you relevant at some point. Like,
yeah. So, I mean, there's that part, too. I mean, I don't think, for my personal story, and it sounds like you sharing, too, like, I mean, since day one, it wasn't just destructive. Like, it had its sort of a weird, purpose of, I mean, I even would go as far to say, like, maybe it saved me from some of the darkest times of my life when I didn't really know how I would maybe carry on, and maybe alcohol bought me another day or another week of
another mindset for the next couple of years before you destroyed with something else. But
so like I think that, like, I think it's so easy to just paint it as like the whole thing is completely terrible, but I hear that story a lot about,
and you get so like me and my brothers, because then my dad he got with that girl that had 2 other sons, and we became brothers like at the age of 7, because we already knew these people. Anyway, the story is my dad went with this girl, she had kids that we already knew, and they were friends. So now my friends are becoming my brothers. And the 4 of us, we were cool kids. Like, we were loved by our neighbors. We were loved by our community. We were always moving in group of 4 and like going to bars and parties, and like people knew the 4 brothers, and we were always
Backstreet Boys, man.
And at some point, alcohol was our like unity. Like we used to go to parties, and they knew that Rick, Sam, Will, and Joey, they were getting fucked up, and they were gonna have a good time with these guys, and we were like the good time people, and like that made me feel, and that made me become probably the entertainer that I am today.
Yeah,
because now I do music.
Well, I think it's big. I think it's big, like what you mentioned there, the purpose and identity, right? So it's like when you're younger, what's my purpose in life, and then what's my identity? My identity and how everybody knows me is like, I like to party, like to have a good time. And then when people get sober, that seems to be, and I'm sure we'll get there, but that seems to be one of the hardest things to shake, right? How am I going to break it to everybody that the way I've been living for however many decades is just not in line with how I want to live moving forward? And who the heck am I?
And who the heck am I going to become without that? Yeah. And like, what page am I turning here? Comment on dit deuil en anglais?
Grief.
Yeah. So like, that grief, it's scaring the shit out of me, man. Because I mean, I used to party, drink. People were like, Rick Duff, his show is insane. You just go, he's partying with you, he's having fun with you.
Yeah, pouring like beer in his like boots and just like.
I used to like drink beer out of my boot and just like I used to get fucked up on stage and feeling guilty like the next morning because I had another show to give and I needed that same attitude on stage that I didn't want to give these people. Like all I wanted to do was being at home with my girl and just my cat and just listen to fucking The Hobbit on TV and just relax. And now I needed to go to that show where I needed to drink in a booth and maybe snort some lines at the end of the night. And
man, Dad,
and you're not showing the example, like and like quit. Like when I decided to quit drinking, I was like, should I quit music?
All right, Chester.
No.
What were things like for you after high school?
Went to college, which in Quebec it's called Cégep. It's like in between high school and university. And like 2 years it's prior to go to the university. I was studying music. As for me, like I grew up listening like to Nirvana, and like Metallica and stuff. And I was like, man, James Hetfield, he could drink, man. He's my idol. Like Rockstar Lives and stuff. And my first class, like we had a class called band. So like they randomly chose musicians in school and put them together in a room with a teacher, and we decided like which kind of music we were playing. And when I just attended my first class, I was high like on speed and ecstasy, and I was like, yeah man, give me some notes like to play, I'm ready. And and like people were like, that guy's kind of fucked up, man. And I'm like, yeah, I was, and I was proud of it. Like I was proud to be like the party animal of like Cégep. And then I met like this girl. I was madly in love, and all these drugs, like she was not a big fan of drugs, so I just like quit drugs for her and not for me. Then she ended up like cheating on me, and I was devastated, man, because like I'm an intense human being. So like when I love, I love, man, and I'm a big lover as well. And when I learned that like she cheated on me, I came back home, and I like passed by like the grocery store, bought some beer, and as soon as like the alcohol had like its effect, I was, oh shit, man. It was the thing, man. It was my drug of choice. And
how old were you then?
20, I think.
Because you didn't drink that much before Cégep. Like,
I used to drink here and there, but like drugs were like my
like
thing.
You mean popping pills and cocaine and all that.
It was my thing. Yeah.
And then when she broke your heart, you fell into alcohol.
Oh man, I did like 0-100 in like a second.
You was drinking every day from that point?
Yeah. And like my parents had like a mini bar, and 2, 3, 4 days a week it was dry. And
what'd they say?
Dude, what the fuck, man? And like my dad, he was in Haiti with the UN for like a year. So I had like nobody to watch like my drinking and like a comment on my drinking. And my mom, she was a bus driver, and she was working night shifts. So I had like the house to myself. And this is where like I sorry mom and dad, but I stole money from like their drawers and stuff, and going to it's called SAQ, Society of Alcohol of Quebec. It's like an LCBO here.
Yeah, liquor store.
Yeah, true.
Well, it's interesting too, because a lot of people probably listen to the show are from the U.S. I mean, in Quebec too, in Montreal, it's 18. To start 18, drinking, as opposed to in the U.S. 21.
Or in Ontario 19.
Or Ontario 19.
Yeah.
So I mean, when it's there, you probably don't even, in those beginning days, you probably don't even think much about it. You're going to the store and everything, just picking it up at 18, right?
And at 16 and 17, your parents are going to let you, even 14. Like my dad, he let me out a beer at 15.
Yeah, me too.
Or like a shot, or like I remember in Christmas time, everybody was doing Sambuca's shots. You know Sambuca's?
Yeah.
And like at some point, I was like, "Can I taste it?" My dad was like, "Sure." You want to taste that shit? It tastes horrible. You want to taste it? I was like, "Yeah." Tasted it. Like it's that European, like Quebec. It's more of a European culture we have because of the French and all that. That drinking at an early age, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
in the opposite, I think in the U.S., it's like you're underage and you're drinking.
I think just the fact that you could kind of go in and get it yourself, like I think
at 18,
at 18, right, as opposed to
a kid,
to 21,
yeah.
And then, I mean, if you wait till you're 21, I mean, people are still drinking. People are not waiting till they're necessarily 21, but maybe that's sort of the other thing. And I think when we're younger, it's like the riskier it is, the kind of cooler it is if everybody can't get it. And I remember
it's super intelligent to don't 21. I'd even go up to 25. Like I'd wait till your brain as a man or a woman is fully developed, like before you could be of age of drinking. Because I mean. it must fuck some wires up somewhere. Like at 18, drinking that much and snorting cocaine and doing pills and drugs and all that.
But the thing here is that I think that like the more it's forbidden, the more like it's just attractive.
It can be,
to people. Like it's wrong. Like,
but you're gonna do it moderately until you're that age, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're gonna hide yourself and maybe do it less more.
Or like just be taught to be like
sneaky.
Yeah. No, just I mean, more like to moderate. When you're like 18.
You mean like they should teach people how to moderate?
Yeah. But like, I mean, who who
Did
knows?
you ever moderate?
I tried to, but I failed.
Yeah. What about you? When you first started drinking, I mean, could you just have one?
Oh man, even when I was drinking the most, I was drinking on weekends only. Like, I was super able to pace myself. Like one of my qualities was that if I say no, it's no. Like even on weekends, sometimes I could say no. But the thing is, as soon as I started drinking, I wanted more, and I wanted more of a lot of things. I wanted more, like go to more parties, like speak to more women, do more cocaine, or do like move up the scales, like and at some point hear the birds chirping and
escalate.
And I was good at that. But
did you get a lot of energy from drinking? Like did it?
It used to wake me up a lot. Like I remember on Thursday or Fridays, and I was a bricklayer, so big days, hot, scorching sun. You're out there just working, dusty. You come home, you're tired, super tired. You just did your 9-10 hours of work. And I remember first beer, and then the second one, and then my buddy nearby, he was selling cocaine. Like after through 3 or 4 beers, I knew I was going out. I'll buy a little just because, maybe I'll just, get too drunk too early, and I want to continue partying. And bro, it's a not ending cycle. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I mean,
no,
even if people are struggling in secrets, I mean, at some point I stopped lying to myself, and I was just like,
you saw it for what it was.
Man, even if I wasn't drinking every day, like Chester, he used to drink every day. Every day I called Chester, where you? I'm having a beer at home, or I'm planning on getting drunk.
Yeah. Can I sleep at your place? Because like I'm not planning on driving.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, you want to come home and do some music? First question you would ask me, can I sleep at your place tonight? Because I'm gonna bring a couple of beers, and I know I'm not gonna be able to drive.
Yeah. And when I said like a couple of beers was like
12 pack.
Yeah.
And he wasn't sharing like a 12 pack, and it's like kinda.
Yeah.
Strange question. I don't know if this plays into it at all. But for you, with drinking on the weekends and Chester drinking every day, did you ever say, okay, that's a problem with the way that Chester's carrying himself, and I'm like not there yet? So
nah, man, he was good at hiding it. Like he was good at hiding the fact that it's a problem. I remember at some point it was like, dude, my girlfriend's telling me I should slow down and stuff, and I was like, yeah, you should probably, because you're a good drinker, buddy. Like you know how to handle a bottle of beer, like no questions asked. Like we knew, like everybody knew Chester was that big drinker and that big party animal, that it's super sweet, never like disrespectful, always like good manners, and he speaks loud, and he like at some point you need to tell him like, bro, slow down, homie. But nah, man, I wasn't the one telling Chester, hey man, you should stop drinking, because at some point it's not my fight, man, and it's not I didn't see it as much as other people around him were seeing the situation, and I think I had my own demons to battle with. But.
True.
But
so where do you go from there? So you're at music school, and you've had the heartbreak, and you're really leaning into drinking.
Yeah, and like there were so many red flags, and when I said like that I did like 0-60 miles an hour in 1 second with alcohol and drugs, is like maybe like 2-3 months after like I started to drink heavily, I partied like a champ, and at like 4 or 5 a.m. I woke up and I was feeling like puking and stuff, like just puke blood everywhere, and that's a big red flag. So I didn't drink wine. Like I had beer and like a bottle of whiskey, and I don't know, like how many grams of cocaine, and when you puke blood, man, it's bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm cool. So I was waking up every morning super hungover, and the first question that came to my mind was like, with which money am I gonna buy more booze? It was bad, man. I was going like to the liquor store and buy like this 750 milliliters of like gin, the cheapest like bottle of hard liquor that I could buy, and would down it with more like with more beer and stuff. And I was home playing bass or like guitar with like all my crushed speed, because like cocaine was too expensive, so I would just like throwing speed.
I don't know if you guys call it speed.
What, like Adderall?
And
no, amphetamine. Like speed
meth.
from
but meth. But the way it's done, where we're from, it's like they're making them in that
pills.
They're attractive pills like that looks like Megatron or logos of the Maple Leaf, let's say, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's like, and we call them speeds because it's like it's methamphetamines in pills that you take, and you just get super high up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never done it actually.
So you're doing that, and you're just hanging out sort of in the basement of your parents' place. That's sort of like how things are. You working or anything?
No. So
how do you get all this stuff?
Stealing, or like just like asking for like a favor. Oh man, I'm gonna like, can I borrow?
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
How are you feeling about yourself? Like,
I didn't care, man. I just wanted to die.
At that point in your life?
Oh yeah. I mean, like,
she had cheated on you, and like
I felt like shit, man. And like, if I can like go back in time, I was 9 years old and I was doing bad in school, like I said at first, and it was different. And I told my mom, am I different and bad in school, so I deserve to die? Like, I don't deserve to live. And she was crushed by like that question. I was 9 years old, man.
Because you felt different.
Yeah, and like I was feeling so bad, and I put that like these memories in the part of my brain locked up and threw away the key. And like I spoke with my mom. I came clean to her and told her like my drinking path and all the things that I've done, and she was like, "Holy guacamole!" It was like too much for her, and that's when like she told me that like memory that because I don't deserve to live, and she told me that like I was mutilating myself, and like just being like just self-destructive with booze and stuff, and two, like I don't want to throw my dad under the bus, but like I was not really like allowed to cry at home. And it's not like because he didn't want me to be like a softie or something like that. He just like
didn't want to get involved in your feelings and
yeah, because he didn't know how to deal with these feelings, because like he got raised by his dad, and my grandpa was like stiff, and boys don't cry. And so that's why like still today I'm struggling with like crying like in front of people. Yesterday I like on our way we had this beautiful like conversation where I opened up to like Rick and told him like, man, I struggle a lot, and I was emotional and shed some tears, and I was like, dude, I cried in front of you, man. and I was super proud of myself. It may sound like silly, but
I think like at some point I cried on stage at some point, and I cried playing music in front of 1,000 people this summer, and I was like, shit, man. Why am I crying? But I mean, at some point, I feel you. Like shivers come down your spine, and you're trying to shake up yourself, try not to cry, and the emotion is just so hard to retain. And at some point, you just gotta let it go.
Yeah, but it's really hard. And the only moments that I would be able to naturally, quote unquote, cry was when I was very drunk, and I was a fun drunk, like he said, but at some point I was going back home where like people thought I would just stop drinking, but like there were so many beers waiting for me home, and I was just like chugging them and was crying alone. where like a few hours like before I was having the time of my life.
Yeah.
And then I met that band called Noise, which we're playing with Rick Duff now. I attended like a show, was high on mushrooms, cocaine, and was very drunk, and I just got up on stage, which was not my show, and just yelled at the microphone, and they thought to themselves, that guy's cool. And the next morning, they called me. I didn't sleep 1 minute during that night, and was super hungover, man. Oh, I was painfully hungover, and Alex called me. He was like, hey man, I'm Alex from the band Noise. Care to join the band? I was like, yeah, sure, man. And
Chester came into their lives.
Yeah, man. And the amount of intervention that I had from them was like, dude, you're drinking too much. So what I learned to do was to like
fake being sober.
Yeah, and I was always carrying a bottle of whiskey in my bag.
Yeah,
26 ounce of whiskey, and I was sneaking it out and just like chug it.
That's exhausting, man. Way to live, right?
Yeah,
trying to keep it hidden all the time. Yeah,
and like
and what they're telling you, like, you have to quit drinking, you got to slow down drinking. Yeah,
slow down.
Isn't it interesting though how, like, people, it's not any casting any shade on them, like they're doing, I think, the best they know, but it's like, slow down. It's like, man, if Chester could have slowed down, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I'm only guessing here, but it's not like that probably didn't cross your path either, of like, I need to slow down. This is becoming, to affecting other areas of my life. But, and I think a lot of people get stuck there too, right? Of like, you got to slow down, you got to slow down. I hear it all the time. People are like, yeah, I need to slow down. And I'm like, man, I think if we all could have, quote unquote, slowed down, we would have slowed down a long time ago.
Yeah,
other than just like quit, but that's kind of like a tough thing, right? If you're not ready.
Yeah, and like I spoke with Adrian, the lead singer of the band, and maybe like 2 weeks ago, and he told me that like after all these interventions, he told me like, I just gave up, man, because I love you, man. But like at some point, you just have to make your own choices to like, do you want to play music or no? And he just like gave up.
Where are you at? How old are you when you joined the band? Like, just for a timeline.
22, 23.
Yeah.
And like we won like a musical contest where we went to play in Germany.
Okay.
And I got lost because I was too drunk. And man, they called a helicopter on me.
Yeah.
Really? Did you go too?
No, but like the guys.
That's one of the first story I heard about Jesse.
And I was like, what? And I was proud of it.
Yeah.
Man, I had so much fun drinking. So much fun. Yeah. All these memories that I remember. But I was not able to perform if I was not drunk. Because like back home, I was rehearsing in the worst ways possible. And what I mean by worst ways, being drunk. Yeah. I couldn't like stand, like walk. I would have grabbed like my guitar or bass, and I would play with a metronome, and it was like, okay, cool, I'm tight. And then the next morning, I would wake up and listen to it, and I'd be like, cool, I'm great. So I learned to play music drunk.
Yeah.
And it was nice because I had fun until like COVID hit.
Wait, so hold on. So so there were parts in there that were fun, but there was also parts that weren't fun, or it was all fun?
Weren't fun because like
at that point, young 20s.
Yeah, I'm just invincible.
Yeah, and you're living your sort of dream too, right?
Yeah, man.
Music. And,
band. You're in Germany.
Yeah.
And then like we booked some tours in Europe, and 3 years in a row, from 2017 to 2019, and then like we needed a roadie, and we called Duff. And
what's a roadie? Like a road drink, or like another
roadie,
music?
It's like a tour technician. So driving the van, setting up the stage when we arrived at venues.
And like at some point, we were in France, and
so that's when you guys first met, though.
Well, maybe I'll care to explain that on my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like at some point in 2018, we were like in France.
Yeah.
And they told me that night I had to drive, and man, I was pissed. It was only one night, man. Just don't drink for a night.
Yeah.
And I was super pissed at them. But it's just one night, man. Grow up, man. And
did you make it?
no, I drank.
Yeah.
But like I just hit like to drink, and at some point where like I was okay, now I need to stop, cause
Or else I'm not gonna be able to drive.
yeah, and be like to announce them, hey guys, I cannot drive. I'm
And
drunk.
me, I was for sure not driving because it was my only night not driving the van. So
Yeah.
I, at that point where he had 2 or 3 drinks, I probably already got smashed at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
and
I was
like,
hiding.
for sure, I am not driving. So you got to keep it on the
Yeah.
low, buddy, and figure out a way for you
Yeah.
to drive tonight. Because tonight it's not my turn, man. You're driving.
But like I had maybe like what 8-9 beers, and I drove.
Yeah.
Because like my capacity with alcohol is very high.
Your
My tolerance, yeah,
at
exactly.
that point, yeah.
So like the next day, I had like to, like all these time lost in one night. I had like to drink it up, and for like the rest of the tour, I was smashed every night and stuff, and and then the next year, we went still like to Europe, and then we plan on like opening up in 2020 for a band called Steel Panther. We were like opening up in Amsterdam in a football stadium, and we would have done like a shit ton of money, and my dream was coming true. And then COVID hit. That's where like the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Like,
Another level to it.
yeah, and I met that girl that she played like a huge role in my life. Being like, she told me, dude, you're an alcoholic. And at first,
Was this a girlfriend? that you
Yeah,
had?
yeah.
And she
And-
told you, is that the first person to tell you? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like my dad, sorry?
like to shoot it to you that straight?
Yeah. And like my dad asked me many times, do you have an alcohol problem? Nah, I can stop whenever I want. And that was my answer.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't stop.
You just never wanted to stop.
No, and like I can stop like wherever I want. The only issue here is that I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
So
Well, you probably believe that, though. I think that's sort of
course.
kind of the part that we get into, right? Is
Yeah.
we kind of believe that our
Yeah.
own stories there. I'm wondering to catch up with Rick Duff here. What were things like for you after high school, kind of up to the COVID times?
Yeah, me, I actually really enjoyed school. Like, I loved being in school. I loved the community I had at school, and I used to study music as a percussionist in school when I was from grade. Like, the way it works is we do our elementary school, it's grade 1 to 6, and then we go to high school 1 to 5, and then we go to CJIP, and then university. So at my high school, I did like high school 1 to high school 3, like grade 1 to 3 in music, where I really enjoyed myself. Wasn't that much of a drinker, wasn't that much of a drug addict. I only started smoking cigarette. That's where I used to, at that point, that's the story I told you, where with my friends we used to try to pick up cars locks and try, like these are the summers where I wasn't even drinking, or like maybe drinking a little, but all my friends used to smoke pot and hashish, and they all used to get high on something, and I wasn't. I was the sober kid that only wanted to be with the bad boys and just, fuck around and find out. And but never have I gotten arrested by the police or whatever, or drinking and whatnot. It came in way after that. I finished high school, and I did like that program that combined some college studies with high school. I was really good at school. I finished high school with good degrees, and I even had a second diploma with my high school degree. And then I went on and did my trade as a bricklayer. And this is where, with the people from the construction world, this is where it all started for me. So at that point, I was getting picked on a lot by these other coworkers because I was a shit worker. I mean, I just got out of school, and all these guys, they were all high on cocaine and they were all drinking booze. So at some point, I started partying with these guys, going to bars with these guys and stuff. So I started drinking, and but cocaine, I've faked doing cocaine for a bit. Because I wanted to fit in, so these guys were offering me cocaine. I was like, yeah, sure. I would go to the bathroom, just took a key out of the bag and just coming back and like, yeah, I did it. And I didn't do it just because I wanted to look cool. And then at some point, like I used to have that girlfriend and she left me because I was too much of a softie, I guess, too much of a like people pleaser or whatnot. And at that point, I was hanging out with that guy that later on became a felon, and like that guy, he was a tough guy, but we got along so good. I don't know why. Maybe because he had a soft-sided heart that nobody knew about it, but me, I guess I picked the right place to just start to hang out with that guy, and yeah, that guy he later became like a drug lord in my town, and he later got arrested and thrown in jail for like guns and stuff, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was hanging with that guy, and he took me to that party, and he was like, "You ever did cocaine?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he had that little mirror there with 2 lines on it, and he was right there with me, like looking at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man. I was like, "Yeah, I did it." He was like, "All right, cool. So let's do a line." For him, it's not that big of a deal. For me, I'm about to do my first line of cocaine, and I remember I just went, "Fuck it." And I just snorted it for real that time. Man, did I have fun that night. Like
the rush.
Because I always thought in my mind, like, I needed to be adjusted at some point, like with OCD. And I remember I always used to be so picky about some things. But yeah, well, cocaine just entered my life, and I was like, man, that's fun. That's a fun drug. I think I'm like 19 years old at that time. So I waited a lot, like, before doing my first drug, because I wasn't smoking pot even. I wasn't even into that. And even marijuana came in, like, 2 years ago. Like, I started smoking pot because I wanted to calm down from all that's been happening from 19 to 29. That 10 years. I went fast and hard. I started partying, drinking, and then another girlfriend, she was like, "You spend too much time with your buddies partying." She left me, and then 4 years bachelor, so I just, in my early 20s, was working as a bricklayer, making money. I had this condo with my brother, and we were always up to something, always up to a party, always like, and then at some point, I had this bank account that was a bank account conjoint with me and my brother. Like, we had that bank account for the 2 of us, so we could pay our rent with that. And I started taking money out of that bank account because now I'm spending too much in bars.
To do what?
And no, but I took that money to fill my tank of gas or to to go to work and stuff. And he realized it, and at some point he just put me in a corner and say, "Man, I've seen you go, and like, you got this problem, dude. I've been doing the accounting of our you owe me $2,500. I was like, shit, I'm sorry, dog. And he almost punched me at that point. Like, he was so furious about me, and like that girlfriend just left me. He finds out that I'm stealing money. I cannot pay rent. I'm such a fuck up. Like, early on in my life, no financial education and whatnot. So I just decided to leave to Edmonton. And then this is where I just went. That's the first time I tried to help myself. Like, at that point, I went to Edmonton, not with the mindset of quitting the alcohol and quitting the drugs, with a mindset of reimbursing my brother. Like, I need to make money. I need to give that money back, and just like
to do what's right.
Yeah, to make my conscience clear. And I just went on and did it. I lived there for 6 months. This is where I fell in love with music. This is where I learned to play guitar, because I was so alone with myself at some point that I just picked up that guitar and played and played and played. I was doing drugs, but no cocaine, because I wasn't like, I was drinking, but I wasn't doing cocaine at that point, because I was there and I wasn't around people that much that I wanted to do cocaine, and I didn't need cocaine that much at that point. But as soon as I got back, straight into old habits, and
me.
With you, and this is where I met Chester. So I came back from that trip.
Oopsie.
I wrote a couple of songs, and that guy, I played in a bar, and Chester went to me after the show and was like, "Dude, I thought you were awesome. Like, I listened to you," and he's like, "Yes, so since when do you play music?" I'm like, 6 months. I just started. He's like, "Dude, no way. I need to introduce you to a band." Yeah, and he took me with him, and he's the first musician that believed in me, actually. The first guy that said, like, I need to introduce you to some other people, and I really want to put your songs out into there. Music, like, and put it out there. So he introduced me to that band, but it wasn't noise. It wasn't his band. It was like a band of people that drank a lot, smoked a lot, and it was a crazy band. And we had that year where I just went full on in music, but in a bad way. Like,
we were playing for like
pictures of beers.
Yeah.
Oh, my manager,
yeah, and my manager, she was high off speeds, like she was high off meth. Meth.
So you guys, so kind of at every turn, you're finding both of you in one way or another, surrounded by maybe what you're doing too. You know, like you could probably. I'm kind of picturing myself back in that. Kind of like that world the best I can, but like everywhere you look, people are using drugs or drinking, or you're probably thinking like, this is what everybody does.
Yeah,
like
true,
maybe you're not seeing anything different.
And dude, I'm paid to party now, because looking back on it, I was like, that was what I was always wishing for. It's being paid to have a life of the party. Like I wanted to do music so I could make a couple of $100 where I could drink for free in the bar, because the bar bill is included in my
open tab
in my so this is what I wanted to do, and women and then drugs and then hotels, and just fuck around and have fun and
be famous.
But even though at that time it wasn't even about being famous, it was about just, dude, I'm the one that lit up that place tonight. Like, people are having such a great time now because I was on stage with the band, and we just we went nuts, and killed it, and we actually had fun, and we actually killed it, because today it's working super great.
Yeah.
But at some point I needed to take a break.
Yeah.
And I met a girl called Pascal, and I just decided to quit music and put it aside, because it wasn't a life of family. Like, I wasn't
so sad, man. Actually.
Yeah, and I quit music at that point, because first COVID hits, and I was dating that girl. But me and that girl, we were still like drinking, and I was still doing drugs and stuff. And at some point, like, I don't want to get into details with that story, but things weren't great. They went. I stabilized a bit, but at some point when she left me, because I was down spiraling again, like I was going downward, and she was like, "Nah, I'm not having this life." And at that point, I was like, I had a lot of money. All that money, I put it into the music, but that music bring me to the party, and then it was just always going downwards and downwards while everybody thought I was going upwards, because my music was doing great. I was playing on an album. I was on a TV show. Like, I was getting out there, but all the while, like at the same time, I was just going down a dark road where I was hearing the birds chirping at the morning because I wasn't sleeping, and like I met this other girl called Ariane, that she is such an angel, like a sweet girl.
She's a cowgirl.
She's a cowgirl from the album, actually. And like, at some point she told me a story about her dad, and her dad died due to alcoholism. And I didn't pay it that much of attention at the beginning of a relation, but at some point she was like, "Look, man, I'm looking for someone who's not gonna let me down." And she was seeing me getting fucked up on alcohol and drugs and whatnot, and at some point she was like, "I'm not comfortable with that anymore." It's like, she didn't give me a choice. She was like, "I love you, I'm gonna stay there, but don't be surprised if one day I'm packing my bags up and I'm leaving, because I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to endure all of that." So I took it. I didn't quit drinking. And at some point, I woke up after a show where I was a bit shaky. I was not feeling great. And we were doing 5 shows in a row. And we were heading on our 5th. And I remember, like, I barely could sing because my voice was so cracking up of all of the abuse that I've been putting on my body for the last month. And Chester was 1 month and a half sober at that point, and we just sat in the car, and he told me, listen, man, you got two choices now. It's either you have fun for the next 5 years and then nobody know who Rick Duff is, or you just focus, you go down that road where you get sober, and who knows, maybe you're going to pay, maybe you're going to make a generational wealth for your children because of your music. And I said, yeah, I just resonate so much with that train of thought.
Would you think he was right? Like he was honest?
He is right. Like it is the way. It is the way for, as soon as you think you have a problem with whatever the drug or or alcohol or gambling or whatever, as soon as something is causing prejudice in your life, it's not good for you, and it's going to cause more and more problem, I think.
Yeah.
And quitting is hard, but it's not as hard as losing everything, and it's not as hard as going through another breakup, and it's not as hard as breaking the patterns or a cycle you have. And I feel like I'm breaking that pattern as of right now. Yeah. And I want to thank you so much, man, for that.
I love you, man.
Yeah, man, I love you too, bro.
Oh, come on.
And
bromance.
I feel like he's the one that needed help all along. Like, I never felt as a fuck up as much as Chester was, if you know what I mean. Like, looking back on it, you're comparing yourself a lot while you're struggling.
Yeah.
Comparison is the thief of joy, man.
And I was, let's say, more joyful because I saw Chester was maybe more miserable than me. And I was like, why should I quit drinking? Chester is still drinking. Like, and at some point when Chester told me, like, hey, man, I'm 1 month and a half, like, sober, I was like, Chester, 1 month and a half sober? That's when it spoke to me in my head, like, Chester is sober for 1 month and a half. I was like, dude, I'm so proud of you, man. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, he's that guy being 8 months sober, 9 months?
Almost 9.
Bro, it's a miracle. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. I'm telling you guys, like, if Chester can do it, everybody can do it. Yeah. Like, this is how I resonate now. Yeah. And I feel like without that guy and people like you, and I've written to you already, like saying like you have a huge impact on Chester's life, and I cannot thank you enough for that. Me and all of my bandmates and his mother, his father, like everybody around, like pages like yours, they're saving lives, and it's like it's only a blessing for us three to be there and speaking about it. Yeah, sober,
to be open and
I mean, I think even if you zoom out a little bit, for the three of us to be alive and everything that we've been through, to be sitting in the same room, I want to go back to there a little bit, Rick Duff. Thanks for sharing that, man. Thanks. Because I think a lot of people try to plan out this big moment, right? This big moment of like, I'm going to change my life, and everything's going to line up, and maybe it comes after a rock bottom or something. But you kind of share experience, I think, that a lot of people have in a one weird way or another. It's maybe just that conversation at the right time. It's maybe not like everything, your whole life is not falling apart in that moment. It's just like you, whatever reason, man, the stars lined up, and living the sober life or not drinking anymore made sense in that moment. I mean, what do you take away from that?
Well, first of all, I'd say a lot of self-esteem came back, like, and it's a lot of that. If I'm understanding the question right, is I think for me, there was only that little voice or that little moment where I felt peace, knowing that I'm okay. Like, knowing that I'm okay, I'm savable, I'm a human being, I've done mistakes. Like, I had this 1 second of ultimate peace, and I crave that 1 second now, and I find it in every day that I'm being sober. So like, it's Chester. Yeah, I'm being grateful. And Chester told me that. And at some point, I remember I was driving the car, and he was still speaking. But at that point, I realized, and I heard that voice saying like, "Hey man, you're okay. Like, you're not dead. Mom is there, dad is there, your brothers are there. Like, you have this girlfriend that loves you, and you love her, and." Yeah. Like, you're fine. Just quit drinking. And as soon as I said the word "just quit drinking," I remember I felt that peace, that I became shaky inside, and like, am I really going to turn that page and grief about about alcohol, and just at that point I'm that musician that's gaining success and gaining popularity because of his party animal behaviors, and like our people are not gonna love you anymore and stuff. But I remember that 1 second of peace, it made it all go away. All of the doubts, I was just like, man, I want to live peaceful.
I think like in some
maybe in there too. I just was thinking about, like, I'm just envisioning the whole entertainer, right? About you're going in, you're bringing a lot of happiness or everything to people's lives, and that's how you're connecting with people. I wonder if it's relatable that you might have lost yourself along that journey of making everybody else happy and bringing everybody else to party, that you really stopped checking your own boxes in life.
I feel yeah, it's actually what happened, man. I feel like we're this channel of energy that gives back to the people in the room, and at some point that channel of energy was only alcohol. Looking after, because I wasn't drinking that much before a show, but let me tell you, I couldn't wait to be on stage and just shotgun one, just to have that and
thrill.
And that thrill, and like I feel like I wasn't showing a good example to the kids also, because these kids were getting hammered. I remember that show we did
do it as well
in Beauce. There was this place we were told could hold 500 people.
Oh man,
dude, we came in, there was 1,000 people. Like people were jumping on top of each other.
Man, it was mad, man.
And we brought madness like that night. And I have videos of that night where we're just fucking hammered, man. And like
it was
I was throwing beers at people, and like I like equipment and stuff, and like you don't realize it, but the next morning still I was feeling shitty, even though 1,000 people just had the time of their lives. Me
showing love, and
I had a shitty time, bro. I was impatient, I was irritable, like I don't know how to say it.
Irritable, anyway. It seems like too, as things kind of go along too, it's about, I mean, that's kind of like what we've been touched on earlier, is that identity, right? Like that was like your maybe your purpose or your identity too. But yeah, it's interesting too to even connect the dots as like what Chester approached you with that conversation. I mean, the longevity, realistically, I'm sure some of the top guys will get away with it, but I think of a lot of people who are starting out or maybe not at the top yet, like it's going to be a short career until something happens, right? Yeah. Something's going to happen. There's too much unpredictability, right? For somebody to...
True. And I think that I've just started to regain myself on stage nowadays. Like it took me a couple of months for sure, but now I think I'm tighter than ever. I'm practicing more than ever. I feel like I'm giving a better performance than I've ever given before, and I feel like my ex is on the stage more than ever nowadays, because now I'm doing it sober, and I'm doing it for me. Like I'm having fun. Are you guys having? If you're not having fun, because I'm not drinking, buddy, you got a problem. Like you feel me? Like, and now it's when people are being like rude with me because I'm not drinking, I'm just like, man, I'm sorry I'm not drinking, dude. I'm like, do you really need me to drink to have fun, or do you really think like my music sucks because I'm not drinking now? Yeah. Well, if it's I don't even want you as a fan, dog. Like, like sorry, man. There's nothing I can do about it, but what I can do is go on stage and have fun for people that loves the music and love the culture and love like a good country music show, and just just have fun. Yeah, which I'm sure there are times you probably get both, right? People who support it and people nowadays when I do Downstairs, there's that song on my album that speaks a lot about myself and a lot about the struggles I had with alcohol and how I want that man upstairs to listen to me a little bit, because I was struggling, but I wasn't. Like the song, you could interpret it the way you want it, but for me, the way I wrote it, it's just I want to be heard, and I want to be heard by the God by that person that can give you relief of all that struggle and all that sufferance. I just want to finish by saying that every time I play that song, I mention how I'm proud of Chester being like 6, 7, 8, now almost 9 months sober, and how I am following the sober way of life, because I've seen the benefits and all that, and people are just standing up and cheering nowadays. And I quit smoking cigarette, and the first show we did when I quit smoking cigarette, I forgot most of my lyrics, and I told the people in the crowd, I'm sorry guys, I quit cigarette today. It's my first day without cigarettes, and like I cannot concentrate well now. And people are like, it's all right, man, do it again. And people are having fun, and like we're humans. Like when you see people like Bryan Adams or fucking Riley Green or pick Zach Top or whatever, like the people you love watching on a stage, they're humans, and I'm a human entertainer, and I want to get sober. So just tag along if you want your favorite singer to be a sober guy.
Yeah, all right, I'm on board. All right, Chester. So bring us back up to speed. COVID hit. You're in the band, and things kind of you were leading towards things falling apart more for you.
I went through like a huge like depression, and that's when I met my ex-girlfriend, and she asked me first, "Are you like a drug addict or an alcoholic?" I'm like, no. I can stop like whenever I want. And then we started like dating and stuff, and we moved together maybe prior year of dating, and then I was drinking it every day, 3, 4, 5, 6 King cans of like a day. And
quick question: you guys call it King cans here?
A tall can, maybe.
Okay, tall boys.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I mean, like 500 milliliters.
Because us in Quebec, we say King can.
Yeah.
King can.
King can.
What were you drinking? What would you like to drink?
Big cans.
No, maybe like at 19, beer from Copenhagen, 5.5% of alcohol.
Okay.
500 milliliters. So,
Tuborg?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I remember these cans laying
like
around
golden
everywhere.
cans and
You could see where Chester went. Like you could see, there was one next to because Chester used to live in that place where there's you still live in Montreal, right?
Yeah.
So there's that wooden door. There was always a can on the side of that wooden door, and then there was that ashtray. There was a couple of cans around the ashtray, and then you would get right into his room, and there was a couple of cans laying on the floor, and then you would go to the kitchen, a couple of cans on the
it was a mess,
cans everywhere.
But she was an early bird as well, so she went to bed early, and like she was getting up early. So my worst nightmare every night was like the 11 p.m., which is where like they stop selling alcohol, and she was going to bed at like 10:30, 10:45, and I was wishing that she just like stop talking so I can go get my beers.
Oh, it was like a secret, so she didn't know you were on there
I was
when
like
she went to
seeking
bed.
out like Scooby-Doo tiptoe shit, but like, and then I would chug all these beers, getting super drunk, and I already had like my 5 like tall cans, like King cans.
While she was there,
So like
for you,
yeah.
drinking moderately was like your 500 milliliters cans.
Yeah.
While you were with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then like as soon she can hear us, but
Yeah.
but anyway, so then I would like sneak out and come back from the convenience store and just chug them. So all this like time lost, I would like just drink them away, and I would listen to like sad movies and just cry my eyes out because I needed to get rid of these emotions and just hidden emotions. And at some point, like we took a break in like at the halfway of like our dating lives, and I was a mess. And then like she came back, and then I had like a gym subscription. Once a week I would go to the gym and then not drink. Man, at like 1 a.m. I was waking up and my bed was soaking wet. It was soaking wet from like the withdrawal. And like the rest of the week I would drink maybe like in liters, maybe 5-6 liters of beer like every day. And when
Drinking more beer than water, actually.
because
you probably didn't drink any water.
of course I did, because I want to like
It helped you keep going.
my hangover was like way better.
Did she catch you doing all this drinking or no?
Sometimes yes, because I would fall asleep in front
Without
of the
cleaning
TV, and like she would wake me
you would
up.
fall asleep in front of the abs, giving a whoop to the Maple Leafs.
And I was like, yeah. And then like at some point, maybe like 3-4 times, she caught me while I was like sleeping with like all these like empty cans, and she would help me like just get up and walk to our room because I couldn't walk. And like at some point I came back home from a party when like everything opened up again after like COVID.
Where I probably was.
Probably, yeah. And I came back home. We had like a big argument, and I mean, like, I'm sorry for saying that, like, to her, but like I told her, you know what? I'm drinking that much is because of you. I'm drinking like because of you. It was so mean, man. It was bad, man. And she didn't take it well, and obviously. How can, like, she wasn't drinking at all. In 3.5 years, I saw her tipsy maybe like 2-3 times. And like we were renting some cabins, and I would bring like 40 beers for like 2 nights.
How do you keep this going for 3.5 years?
I don't know, man.
Like,
She was so patient.
No, but at some point, I think that she knew, like she knew, because I remember her at some point. You came for I don't know what reason where I was living, and we had a couple of beers, and I remember a face or like an expression she had of like miscontent and well, she knew. She knew, and she was just hoping maybe he would get better. And like I was partying a lot.
You know what's wild about that? Like I think of putting myself, because I've been in those relationships too. I think of putting myself in their shoes to think of like how much grace they gave me. I don't know if I could ever be
that graceful.
If it was flipped and they were the ones struggling, like I've never been in that situation, but I don't know if I would stick around. So for people to sort of have that blind faith, maybe in a sense that you're going to be able to turn it around, I think is like pretty cool, pretty courageous, right? That'd be difficult for me to do that.
Man, she tried so hard.
And God, thank you for these people, like these graciousful people, these faithful people to, like, let's say a daughter to her dad or a like, son to his mother. Or these people are graceful and they're patient and I like there's no word to describe like how grateful I am for these people that were patient and took the time to save someone. It's like you have something in your teeth and you're about to go on TV. I'm gonna tell you, hey, there's something in your teeth, man. You're about to be seen by a lot of people. It's the same. It's the same. Like, hey, you're out there. You're going to work. You look like that. Yeah. You're living your life. You bring your daughters to the hockey rink and you look like that.
Yeah. But like at some point,
shake yourself up a bit, man. Have some respect for yourself and just and then they're being patient about that. Like
yeah.
Like you keep on fucking up and they keep on showing up.
Yeah. And I would just like go outside on the street, scatter around like a few cans here and there in like other people's recycling bin. So like when she opens up, she sees like 2-3 cans. Oh, cool. He was
reasonable.
Yeah.
So it was okay that you drank, but just not in excess was problematic.
It was not okay because like she didn't like it but
it was better if you had less.
It was less worse.
I mean,
quote unquote.
That I see that ramp up a lot of people's journey when they're in a relationship where there's pressure to quit or cut back.
Yeah.
And then you jump into that secretive hiding phase. And it really seems to ramp a lot of people up. Like it's a very difficult spot to be in because there might be elements of you that want to quit. You can't quit, don't know how to, where to look. But then you also have this other pressure. You also have this other pressure of like, hey, you have to make changes and you're in love and all this stuff. It's very confusing spot to be, it sounds like.
And like 3-4 months before we broke up, she told me like, now it's mandatory. You have to go to an AA meeting, which I kept the chip.
Okay.
It's written, call before instead of after. And I'm keeping that chip in my like pocket because it's like it reminds me that the person that was sharing, I compared myself to that person, and she said like
one day at a time. It says.
No, here, look.
Sorry.
There's two sides of that. But, come on, bro. But and like I'm keeping that coin to remind me that like I've been there and that comparison is the thief of joy.
What, the other person's story you couldn't relate with, or?
No, because like she was drinking a lot, and I was not ready like to listen to all of it. I only took all the elements that I wanted to keep, which is like I was drinking a lot and stuff. Well, me too, but like I was not ready because I didn't hit my rock bottom, and came back home.
So you relapsed after that first going.
I mean, I didn't relapse. I just like continue.
Okay. So you kept that first going of that first like, AA meeting.
I just put like,
and you probably drank that night.
No, I didn't drink.
That night, no?
No, I didn't drink because like I didn't want to get into a fight.
Like, yeah, right.
So, but like my idea was like already done.
As soon as she's gone, I'm drinking.
Of course. And then...
that's where your rock bottom started.
No, because she left me.
So you were just...
Maybe like 3-4 months after that, she left me because she was like, this is my ultimatum. You get to choose between me or the booze. And I was like, I won't stop drinking for you. That's exactly these words that I like told her. And then like she left me, and I felt like I was being like controlled, and I was holding my horses with my drinking because she was there. Otherwise, man, I would like drink myself to death.
Yeah.
And then when she left, I had all the space that I wanted to just drink.
Yeah.
And then I was drinking. And then I was missing work. I would arrive like at work super hungover. I mean, like,
what were you doing for work?
I was working in a golf club.
Warehouse.
Yeah. Warehouse. It's like it's called Golf Avenue. And man, my boss, he was so patient with me, man. Because like if it would have been him, I'd be like, dude, get out of here. Yeah. Like he was super patient with me. And then at some point, like I went to my doctor, and I asked her like a sick leave due to like depression. Man, that was like
I
my
remember
health
that.
started, and like
I remember that.
this is when like you started like to do music. And
this is when I started back. Yeah.
To do music, and you told me just get up in the morning, make your bed, and
I
like
started the day off that way.
Yeah. So like at least you would have done something with your day.
And I wasn't in a great state of mind either, but I was trying to help a buddy here because I knew like Chester leaving work because he's sick. I was like the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And I just texted him. I remember.
Yeah. And like 3-4 days later, I did like a lot of alcohol poisoning, like just home alone. And once I fell asleep on my couch, I downed like a bottle of like whiskey and I don't know how many beers, and I started like to puke in my mouth while I was sleeping on my back. And my old roommate woke up and smacked me in the face. He saved my life because otherwise I would have like finished like
probably drowned in your own vomit.
Yeah, but that didn't ring a bell. So I just continue like to drink, and then at some point I woke up one morning and I was shivering, and I didn't understand what was happening, and I was puking, but not out of a hangover. I was just like puking because I know what hangover feels like. Yeah. And I mean, like it was not my first rodeo. No pun intended, by the way. And I chugged like 4 or 5 beers with my antidepressant, meth, and my Adderall. It was quite a cocktail, you know? And then as soon as I finished my 5th beer in like 2 minutes, the shivering stopped. But I didn't really notice, or I didn't like think anything of it. And at some point, we went to Adrian's house for like a Christmas party, and I blacked out. Yeah. But like him and his girlfriend, they helped me get to sleep. They held me on each side of my like arms, and they helped me walk. They put me to bed, and I was still dressed, and they undressed me. Adrian held my back with my chin, and his girlfriend made me like drink some water. It was like unresponsive at all. And he was on my bedside, and just to make sure that I didn't die. And the next morning, he spoke from his heart. And he told me, Chester, now you got to do something. Right now, I think you've hit like your rock bottom. And I was like shivering in my car. Dude, are you cold? I was like, no. And I didn't say anything because I didn't want like to scare him or like anything.
But all you needed was some alcohol.
Oh yeah, man. It was my like
Did
my
you get
lowest.
it? Did you get it that morning?
Yeah, no. I went home.
You went home?
And then like, oof, it was a long drive, man. And he told me like, you have to do something. And I thought about it, and then I called to a rehab. I was terrified, Brad. I was terrified of stop drinking because it was the only thing that I knew how to do. Because like I didn't play music anymore. I was isolating. I was crying every day, using meth, drinking myself. Dude, I was drinking 12 like liters of beer every day. It's not like random number.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Probably
Like
Guinness
24.
World
Yeah.
Brag.
Brag.
I'm wondering what you heard in this first AA meeting that, well, I guess it's what you picked and choose, right? But
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, how that meeting, I mean, how much worse off, I guess, could it get? Because you went there and you're like, that person,
bad.
I was. You kind of convinced yourself
Yeah.
in that moment you weren't that bad. But listening to it here, I mean,
Yeah. I'm
like,
less worse than her.
Yeah.
But like the thing that I remember though, she said like many men broke my heart. But like my biggest grief was when I quit drinking.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember. And then you know what?
You went all in.
Like goosebump. And yeah, and I went like just all in.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to be leaving a party and like I knew I was going to be able to drink or do drugs from that point on. I used to go to the washroom and do like a bunch of bumps and like chug 2 or 3 shots. Like, you know, the way you need to like abuse it before ending it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened there.
And I called in to a rehab and they asked me like the amount of like alcohol I was like drinking and stuff, and I just lied because like I just wanted like to moderate, but it's not. You wake up in the morning and you shiver. Yes, moderation is the answer, of course.
Yeah. Well, maybe they would say, "Oh, you don't qualify for the program.
Yeah.
Things aren't bad enough for you, Chester, right? You're not gonna."
But like, and then I was like, no, wait. That's exactly what happened. And I was like, no, wait. Dude, I'm shivering when I wake up, and they told me, don't stop drinking alone. It's very dangerous. I was like, all right, cool. So I was waiting for like to go in quote unquote prison, which is like rehab. For me, like rehab was like prison, but I had to go there.
So they accepted you on the program.
Yeah, on the program.
Yeah.
But like before that, I had like one last night with one of my buddy.
Where was it at? Where was the program
at? In Montreal. It was called the Center from Montreal. Montreal. CDRM.
Say it in French.
Okay, Centre de Réhabilitation de Montréal.
So the Rehabilitation Center of Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
was it a long wait or no?
you mean like that
Before
I
you
spent
went,
there?
like no, that when you called to when you went.
Maybe like 2 weeks.
Did your parents know you were going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad was very supportive. My mom, she didn't believe me. So she didn't believe me that I had that
That willpower.
No, that like all these
That
problems.
much of a problem?
Yeah.
Oh
It
shit.
was like
Alright.
just
She was
stop
like,
drinking
"You're
already.
looking for attention or something."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart. And
Even if it was that you were looking for attention, that attention needs to be from something that was triggered or from a problem or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, and at that point, like,
yeah, but I was like terrified to face my problems.
true.
You know, like for November and December, if I can remember like 5 nights, like combined, it's a miracle. All the other nights I was blackout drunk. I puked a lot of times while I was like sleeping. Woke up, had like a pile of puke on my pillow, stayed there for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And because I was too depressed, it was a war zone in my apartment. It was a disaster, man.
Self hygiene is going out the window.
I was not brushing my teeth. I was not making my bed anymore.
Yeah, and this is while you're waiting to get into the center.
Yeah, and
so it's like this is your last go at things, right? Or maybe, right? You're just going.
Yeah, and like a New Year's, like the January 1st, we had like a New Year's party with my dad's family, and like family on my dad's side is like huge thing. Like it's like family is sacred. And I told them that I was planning on calling to a rehab. And my uncle, he told me like whatever you do, we're behind you. Man, it made me cry. Got home, and I had like my 24 like tall like 500 milliliters, and I already had many more.
At the Christmas party.
Yeah, and I drank my 24 in like 5 hours, and I tried to kill myself because it was too much to handle. It was like I took a knife, tried like to cut myself, but I was too drunk to cut myself. I couldn't like pinpoint my arm where like to cut. I just fell asleep in my kitchen, and I woke up the next morning like at noon. The next
day,
middle morning, but and I puked. Like again, drank my sleep, and the puke like stayed there for like a week. I don't know. And then my roommate, he came back from New Brunswick, had to clean it because he was super pissed. January 14, I had like the last night with my buddy, and we like went to that bar, and we bought some cocaine that probably like had some fentanyl
laced in it.
Yeah. And while I was there, man, at the bar, I had 2 pitchers. I had like 3 Scotch, like triple, 5 king, like tall cans during my day.
They served you all of that at the bar?
No. Like the 5 cans was at
at home.
Like,
okay.
like my house in the morning.
But man, in Quebec, they're not stopping selling.
No.
Dude, you could be like, you have money to pay your alcohol, you're passed out drunk, bro. Here's your beer, dog.
Yeah, yeah, and then,
dude,
I had like
it's
6,
like
and then I had like 6 more beers, but I didn't have enough on that night. So at like 4 in the morning, I was shivering, and I didn't feel great with all the cocaine that I snorted, and I OD'd on cocaine and fentanyl, and I had an alcohol withdrawal at the same time. So I had like a seizure that my friend saw me do, and I was puking, man, like in a jet. And then I fell like on the bathroom floor, had a seizure, and woke up with like
alcohol withdrawals.
Yeah, alcohol withdrawal. I was shivering, like sweaty, nausea, and paramedics taking my vitals with like firemen and stuff, and I didn't understand what was happening. And the paramedic told my friend, before we go in the ambulance, you need to pour that poor man a glass of like any alcohol that you have, like strong alcohol, because we might lose him. Yeah.
Jeez.
And for me, I was going out like on a road trip, but in an ambulance. I was like, oh yeah, taking selfies.
Like you were getting delusional.
Yeah, I was like taking selfies with like the paramedic and like, yeah, rock and roll. And dude, it was not funny. And my buddy, Alex from the band, he came with me in the ambulance. And when we got to the ER, man, I was like right away, 3 doctors around me taking like blood sample, because they knew that a guy that had an alcohol withdrawal and seizure was coming to the hospital. So they had to know like what did I have in my blood to give me like the right prescription.
Yeah.
And it was Valium. Alex called Adrian, the guy who told me like, dude, you need to do something with your life and like to make it right. And he called Adrian, and Adrian, he got up at 6 a.m, hopped on like his truck, drove from like the suburbs of Montreal in the traffic to come to the hospital to take over Alex's place. And he saved my life that day, because otherwise the doctor, after like all the Valium that I took to save my life, the doctor told me, here's like your Valium prescription. You can either stay here or go back home and like detox with your Valium, and then you'll be admitted to rehab.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to go back home. Adrian said, like, dude, well, we both know what you're gonna do back home, man. You're gonna drink and use these pills. No. So he convinced the doctor to keep me at the hospital, because I was not like mentally like fully there to take a decision. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I was not fine, man. I just wanted like to die. Then I was like admitted to the psychiatric area, you know, like
the ward, the psych ward.
Yeah.
Like,
and then on the other side of the door, it was like all the addicts from like the street and stuff, and I was there. And like Adrian was like, what am I doing to my friend? But like, I'm an addict, Adrian. I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. And
you feel like up until that point, maybe people saw that you weren't, or even yourself too. Maybe
they
was
didn't
like,
want to believe it.
Yeah.
Like, this only happens to other people. It's like having like a car crash. It only happens to other people. You know? So stayed there for 4 days at the hospital. And the doctor told me the next day, well, you overdosed on cocaine and opioids, and you had an alcohol withdrawal, which is very dangerous. You know, you're not supposed to be alive. So you should have been dead. Like, I don't know what happened, but you're still alive. And I don't understand either. So I was admitted to the center for 21 days. Did all my stuff, and then came back home. And 6 days later, I had a beer in my hand because it was too hard. I just relapsed. After all I just said, I relapsed for like 13 months. And then I was painfully hungover in my bed. Oh no, right before that, I met that angel called Sarah, my girlfriend. And she's an alcoholic as well, but in recovery. November 20th, she just had like 5 years.
She celebrated her 50 years of sobriety. Yeah. Wow. Shout out Sarah.
Yeah, I love you, honey. And
where'd you meet her at?
On Facebook dating.
Okay. And this is when you met in person, on this day?
Sorry?
Like, when did you meet in person? Like, was it on this day you're talking about? When you met her, or you're just talking about you met her, that's when you first connected?
We started like to chat on on Messenger.
Okay. Did she ask you if you were an alcoholic?
Yeah. I mean, like, she first said, fun fact, I'm an alcoholic and I stopped drinking for like 4 years.
What'd you think of that?
Time. I was like, what? That's
my
amazing.
dream.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I told her, like, I'm still working on figuring out, like, with moderation. I try, like, to moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going so well, Brad. Not. Yeah.
So you met her, and this is where things turn around, or?
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried so hard. Like, during the weekdays, I was white knuckling, like, sober and trying like to go to the gym. And then as soon as like the weekends were arriving, I was like passed out drunk.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I was like going to her place. Like, she smelled like alcohol. Yeah, I had like a couple of beers yesterday. Like, nothing of it, but
yeah.
Yeah, sure. And like at some point she told me, like, you know what? I'm afraid that like
to commit with you.
Yeah, because like I love you. We were like 3 months into our like dating life, and she was scared of like maybe not like with her like recovery.
Yeah.
But it was maybe like she thought about it, but she was like mostly afraid like me not getting sober. And then we went to Pont Rouge, which is a town next to Quebec City. And we partied. I partied like...
No, we all partied.
Oh, man.
You went too?
It was a show.
Yeah,
it was a show.
Yeah, sorry,
okay.
yeah. And
crazy freaking show.
no, I meant
I at one point I had 2 bottles of champagne.
Yeah.
And I was just
Whoa, no, stop.
It's
me. I want something.
no, but there was the owner of the place, man. He thought we were giving such a great show. He just gave us 2 bottles, and he's like, "I want you to shower these people."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Say no more, man. Give it here, man." So I just started showering people, Chester here and there, and me, man, just going on and off to the bathroom with that guy just snorting. And
and like.
Yeah.
When it comes to cocaine or like just using or like drinking, I can never go smooth and not like always like bump. And
It's never enough.
And like my heart is like pounding like it was like your drum solo from like Rush, and like I don't know, and like I thought I would have like a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like on that night, and the next morning, man, I was painfully hungover.
Yeah, I remember you were so not proud of yourself.
Oh, man.
Because I didn't know all of the, like that year prior to that.
Yeah, I went to rehab.
I wasn't there myself. Like I was on my own planet and Chester was on his own planet. We didn't spoke that much during that time. Like, and I didn't know he used to wake up in his vomit, and I didn't heard too much about the OD he had and stuff. I just barely knew bits and from here and there, and seeing him that disappointing in himself, and I wasn't so disappointed because I partied, but at some point I just shut it off and I went to sleep. Like at 2 a.m. I remember you were like almost crying in the bed. I was like, dude, what's going on?
Painfully hungover, man, and I was playing hockey. Oh, dude, man, it was my worst hockey game ever, man.
That night?
Oh, man, that same night I played. When I like took off my gear, I didn't like put a sweat because I was too hungover. Came home, called my girlfriend like FaceTime, and she saw me like I never had like all these twitching and like while I was on cocaine. It was always the next days after, like multiple days after. Like yeah, and she was like, "Did you use cocaine last night?" And I lied to her. Man, it was... Whew. Then we hung up, and I held my telephone in front of me for like 10 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck did you do, man? You fucked up. You're a fucking loser, man. And I called my like multiple names, and man, I was such a shame of myself. I picked up the 1,000-pound telephone, and I FaceTime her and apologized, and I told her I lied to you. It was so hard, and like maybe 2 months prior to that, I was hungover like in my bed, and I saw a page on Instagram called Sobriety Motivation. And I was like, dude, nice. And then I just I was...
It was just random?
Scroll, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then...
I think they're listening to us on their phone. Like at some point, I did a YouTube research on like how not to do cocaine. And like at some point, how to drink and not do cocaine or how to... And I started receiving like these ads from like rehab centers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So it happened to me. I never saw Sober Motivation, by the way, but now that I know about it, it's good.
And I saw Mike Jersey story. Like he was like in a coma for like 3 weeks, and then he woke up. Like he survived, and I was like, "Holy shit, man, that's amazing!" And just scrolled, started to listen to the podcast, and I wrote to you, and you answered back like, "Dude, I think you say do your best or something like that," and then. Relapsed until Pont Rouge, the show that I used cocaine and lied
to Sarah.
Yeah, and she was mad, but she forgave me, man. What an angel.
Yeah.
and I told her, now I'm done. I could have lost you again. All my relationships, like love relationships, were fucked up because I'm an alcoholic. And then they discovered it like later on, and they were like, dude, you drink too much. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I could have done the same pattern.
Yeah.
And I told her, this time I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And it's when like I realized that I'm not a fucked up and I deserve to be happy. And at some point, like in a meeting, I said like, it's like if I was caught in like a labyrinth and I didn't know my way out and it was dark and I got used to this darkness. So I just like
manage.
Yeah, I just managed like to find to walk here and there and like just like get used to this darkness.
Yeah.
And then I got out of this labyrinth, and then 3 days later, I subscribed to Sober Motivation, this community. I don't know. Do you know that one? No, I'm just kidding. But and
so this is 3 days. This is 3 days after.
yeah. And
3 days into sobriety.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then, dude, it took me like 4 hours after like I subscribed to push the like this button written subscribe now.
Yeah.
Like all of my infos, like cards and stuff, and it's like $30 a month, $1 a day to feel better.
Yeah.
Dude, what do I sign? So now, and like, dude, it was right in front of me, and I was because if I press on that button, it
like
means
you were committing to
exactly.
Yeah.
It was over, and I got a tattoo as well, which is like March 23, 2025, which is like the first day of my sobriety, and it's on my left forearm. So when I play guitar, I see it, and it's like something to remember. And then I joined my first meeting, and I remember like, can I say names or?
Yeah. Who was hosting it?
You. No, you were supposed to, but like Gabe did it.
Oh, okay.
Because like you had to go with your grandma.
Oh, okay.
And like and you were like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, dude, it's important to take care of like a grandmother and stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure, yeah. Anyway, so I shared on that meeting, and the topic of the meeting was fear, and I was petrified of playing music sober. I was like, dude, the stars were just aligned, and I shared. And Tony, after my share, he shared and told me, you know what, Chester, I'm a musician as well, and you'll hear music just differently, and it's beautiful. And like I just held on to these words and believed it, that music can be beautiful while being sober. And he said like, after like your shows, you can drive,
Enjoy a meal.
You can pay rent, you can do all this stuff, and you don't have like to think of anything else. And I was like, yeah, sure. Then we went on a tour to New Brunswick, which was my first show.
Yeah. Did you tell anybody that you were not drinking anymore?
Yeah. And
We're all super proud.
yeah, but you were like all super drunk as well.
Yeah, we at that point, our drummer.
I know, I'm so proud of you.
Our drummer is the only one that's sober for 8 years now, and Chester was sober for his first show, maybe a weekend to his sobriety, 3 weeks into his sobriety, and great show, and
then I was struggling, man. But like anyway, so my biggest struggle was to reach out for help, and that's why I relapsed for like 13 months. I didn't call for help.
What's the barrier there, or what was the barrier?
To quit drinking for real.
But for asking for help, like what? Why?
It means that I'm quitting for real. I was not ready to quit. And
definitely,
you
weren't ready to grief alcohol.
Yeah, and after all I've just said, my like withdrawal, OD, all these like ruined relationships.
Yeah.
And after all of this, I relapsed and I tried like moderation for like 4 days. I was like, yeah, tap on the shoulder. You did great. You only drank like 2 beers.
Yeah.
And then
you always find yourself back to the same place or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
but
always
like,
happens.
do you want to live or die?
Is that sort of what the reflection you had to yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, while you live, do you deserve to be happy? Because I was not happy. Fuck, I had so much fun drinking in Europe and stuff. And man, I had a blast until I didn't have anymore. And like, it was called, let's call it a night or like a life on drinking.
Yeah.
Over. I'm done. I'm done. Like, I surrender.
Yeah.
Like, I waving the white flag, call it whatever you want. I just don't want to drink anymore.
Yeah.
And I reached out to you, Brad.
Yeah.
And I had a can, like a beer can in my hand. It was not open yet. And instead of that, I grabbed my phone, put the beer back in the fridge. I was like, Brad, I'm a thirsty bitch. I just want to drink, man. And you told me like, it's not worth it, man. Like, it's not worth it. You did all this work and you just convinced me not to drink. And I thank you for that. And if like for like the people that are like listening, if you struggle, man, the relief that I had when you reached out back, I was like, oh man, I felt important to like somebody else's eyes. Yeah. And I felt like before that we went to like a seafood restaurant in New Brunswick, and everybody like had a beer except for like me and Tom. Yeah. And man, I went outside for like a cigarette or a dart. Yo, Andy. And like I felt like crying because I was struggling so much, man. It was a disaster. I felt like my life was over, and I'm like speechless on how.
And that night I felt like something shifted actually. And this is the next morning. This is where everybody told you like, yeah, man, we're super proud of you. You didn't drink, and
I was proud of myself.
But I know we were hard on your ass at some point, and like I feel like
to give up. What are you saying again? Like your quote, to give up your old life for your new life, something like that?
Yeah, something. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
You said something good. I don't know what.
Yeah, and you need like to make a shift. I like what I did is like, do I want to be a musician for a living? Of course I want to be. Yeah. So like you have to make choices. I want to follow my dream. Will it be hard? Fuck, man, it's good. It was so hard, man. Because
it still is.
Yes, but like way less than it was. Because like at first, like when we got to all these festivals.
Yeah. Well, with drinking, you mean the drinking has gotten not drinking has gotten easier over time.
Yeah.
I think maybe Rick Duff is talking about the artist journey, or maybe both.
Yeah, both. Yeah, both.
Like the journey of like chasing your dream, right? That's tough.
Oh yeah. Still, and the journey of not like relapsing.
Yeah.
Like the journey of staying sober.
The one thing that I really picked up on for both of your stories is like that word surrender too, right? You're sitting there and Chester's talking to you and you feel that, that sense of peace, right? Of like, hey, I got to just give it up. And for you too, you trying to figure it out, trying to do this moderation, trying to make sense of it. Like all of that stuff's exhausting. I find people share that it's so much easier when you just say like enough of this back and forth crap.
I'm
enough
the bull right here.
Enough of lying to myself. Enough of all of this other stuff. Like my life will be better without all of this, and I'm never gonna. You mentioned in Europe, it was just you had a lot of fun with drinking, but I think the reality is the scales eventually tip, and you'll never get back to the fun. Like the fun is there, but then the fun is gone, and then it's like okay, now it's just sort of problems way more often than it ever is.
Yeah,
the fun part, you know, and then you start getting older too, and it's like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? What is my purpose in life? What are my dreams in life? What are my goals? And it's like, it's really hard to accomplish anything with with being inconsistent, with drinking and hungover, and then on the weekends we're just drinking when you could be probably now making music or learning or honing your craft or making connections as
or
opposed
just
to
sleeping
or just having a rest.
just a
Exactly.
rest.
Or like the hair of the dog. Like I told you yesterday, I saw like this bar downtown Toronto. It's called like the Hair of the Dog, and I was like, I thought it was just like funny. So how many times, man, have I done the hair of the dog, man?
Yeah, and you don't. Yeah, that's rough too. I'm curious too, Chester. Heading towards wrapping up too.
Yeah.
Like for both of you, like how has your life changed since you made this? I mean, you're shared about fear. I mean, afraid of like how is my music gonna look? How am I gonna fit in? And what is all this stuff? And you bring up this sort of self-love a lot too. How has your life changed since committing to doing something different?
How did your life change? Like, how do you feel now?
Like I've listened to a lot of podcasts of yours and other podcasts, and like one guest said, my life now is beautiful. Everything, like every beautiful thing is happening to me because I'm sober. I just held on to these words, and like if it's happening for that person, why can't it happen for me? Like positivity, and I just believed in it, man. And it's happening. The phone rings now for like music. I quit my job, man. I thank you guys because you were so like patient with me. But I'm a musician for a living, man.
How do you feel about you?
Man, I'm super confident. I go to the gym like 5 times a week. I eat well. I sleep way better.
Yeah. What about like self-esteem, confidence? I mean, you shared too a lot about you got to these spots where you just wanted to die.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you feel about yourself now? On that level, not like everything external, but like your heart. How does that feel?
Everything is easier, man, to put like back in its right place. Now I'm seeing like that therapist, and I'm working on like my childhood when like I was not able like to fit in, because sometimes like it happens still when like I have these feelings of I feel like I was like 9 years old, and now it's easier to manage that and to be like, you know what, when you give all this attention to this like negativity to that people, it's on you. It's like that like you say something and that person like takes it like the wrong way. Well, it's not my problem, it's your problem. And now it's like reverse. That person is telling me like something hurtful, and now I have like the choice to give him back this attention or keep it for me. Is it worth it? No. Aside. Done.
Yeah.
All done. And like it's my way of coping now instead of like drinking.
Yeah.
And
so you've learned a lot of new skills about life on life's terms. That comes up a lot. It's not really a drinking thing, it's a thinking thing.
Yeah.
And maybe our perception of the world changes as we kind of go through this, and we're not a victim to circumstances anymore, and maybe we feel like we're more in kind of control than before. I don't know if any of that's relatable. Yep. You plugged into, I don't have the amount of meetings in front of me, but you've plugged into a lot of the meetings in the community, have really put forth the effort to build connections. I mean, that's obviously been helpful for you as well, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, as for me, when I relapsed, it's because I stopped attending meetings. And my meetings is my bed. And it helps me, like, to share what's on my mind, my victories, my struggles. Like, this past few weeks, I had, like, a huge struggle, man. And, like, a big fight.
Yeah.
And I felt alone, and I started like to isolate, and then I had the choice of staying isolated and go back to my routine, drink and stuff, or face my fears and be like, I'm not a victim here. Yeah.
And break a cycle.
Yeah, exactly. And reach out for help because it helps.
Yeah.
Man, the thing that switched here in my recovery is to ask for help.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did that, because it's okay not to be okay. It's
normal.
Yeah, man. Like like it's like the cycle of life. Sometimes you have highs, sometimes you have lows.
Yeah.
And just to be able to I mean, I'm just super proud, man, of being a musician, an alcoholic that is on recovery.
Yeah.
And people like offering me shots, beer and stuff. I'm like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
and now
like
we're publicly speaking about it now, like, on shows, and we take time to make some prevention.
Yeah.
Like we take time to speak about mental health, and we take time to speak about alcoholism and
like addiction
addiction.
And you know what? Like at first, when people were like calling out, or like they were like insisting on drinking, I was getting mad at them. But then I thought about it like multiple times, and then I came up with, maybe they just don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, you go into some of those, I can just picture it, those hostile environment. Everybody's drinking, and I mean, it's everybody kind of wants somebody to party with them, right? Nobody necessarily wants to drink alone, and it's kind of like, it's just I see a big shift though.
Parties and people want to party.
But I mean, growing past that, what I take from both of the stories and relatable is there comes a point in your life where you just get a vision for more. Like there's just got to be more to life than kind of the way we're going. And I think we realize in one way or another, subconscious or conscious, we're not going to get to where we want to go in life. Like we might live a life and a full life, but like, I don't know. I always ask myself the question, if I carried on, like I would be alive, but would I have ever really lived? Like with just staying in my comfort zone? I'm curious too for you, Rick Duff, how things have changed for you, man. I mean, you kind of went into this with this conversation with Chester, and I mean, not really going, to meetings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you process it, and what do you feel the differences are for you?
I feel like I'm way closer to myself than I ever was before. Like I'm way closer to my environment and the people that surround me and my actions. Like I'm way more conscious of everything, and I'm way more conscious of the way I speak, the way I present myself, my hygiene, my surrounding, like
your self-love,
my self-love. How much time do I gas my car? Do I let my car run out of gas completely? No. So now I know, like, I need to go before some shit happens, or like I'm just more responsible and more aware of everything, and so I feel loved, and I feel like giving love, and giving of myself.
Yeah, but why that? Because now you love. How can you give something that you don't have? How can I give you love if I don't love myself?
Yeah,
it's like, give me $100. Well, you don't have it.
Yeah.
So how can you give it to me?
You can't. Yeah.
So
I feel like now I love myself way more, and I love
beautiful, man.
But question for you too, like, so you shared with us too, right? The weekends was the big thing with drugs and drinking, and maybe all the wheels didn't fall off too. And I think some people in that situation, they think, if I do quit, because it's not necessarily this huge problem, maybe there won't be many benefits. But talking with you too, like you realize there are a ton of benefits to you, changing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are only benefits. Like, I mean, there's no downside except that you're going to lose some friends that take drugs and alcohol.
Yeah,
really
but
friends?
I'm thinking of that too, where I'm at. I'm like, that sucks, but it's like, I don't know, that in my life, that unpredictability of that life, I'm just like, when do you end up on the wrong side of it, right? Like some of this stuff's illegal.
What's the wrong side, actually? And I think that's a good question, and that's a lot of the time where people are going to get lost into that kind of patterns. I think they're going to be comparing themselves to worse people, because you always have that buddy that is worse. Yeah. And at some point, that buddy that is worse is going to recover or not. Yeah. And you're going to be that worst guy for somebody else.
Yeah.
You're going to be that guy that fucks up. And that
chain of comparison.
Anyway, at some point, I think that it's important for you to set your own way of telling yourself, is that too much? And if it is, you're going to stop. If it's not, you're going to keep going.
Yeah,
there's no secrets. There's no key to that. There's no godmother fairy that's gonna come down the sky and say, now it's too much of drinking.
Yeah,
it's make the change.
It's just like at some point you're gonna fall asleep, or you're gonna wake up one morning and you're gonna be, that's it. I'm fed up.
Yeah,
and there's no wrong side of it.
Yeah,
because people are I see like these soft white underbellies podcasts where you see that guy the weekend and like I'm and this guy, for him it's not enough yet. It's not enough yet for him. Yeah. So that he's not on the wrong side still. Like he's not on the side where he needs to recover still. So I'm like, for me, I'm just super grateful for God and for what life has brought upon me to realize that early on in my addiction, in my alcoholism, and in my journey. And I mean, I need to get sober. I didn't sleep off the street, and I didn't got shot or went to prison or whatever. And
but it was time.
It was time.
Yeah.
And there is no right time.
Yeah.
As soon as you feel like you're fed up,
make the change.
Quit.
But I've heard like that quote, I used my rock bottom as a foundation to build my new life. And I think like it's just beautiful, man. Because yes, I've been there.
But don't forget that.
Yeah, exactly. But like you can use that foundation, like this as a foundation to build something new. So it's still there. Yeah. But like you don't want to go back there.
Yeah. Use that as sort of the motivation to move forward. Yeah. And everybody too is going to have their different experience with quote unquote rock bottom. I mean, what does that look like? What does that feel like? And when is it that we're going to, make a turn? It's kind of the baffling thing about the whole addiction thing or drinking too much. It's, and now you never know when it's going to be enough.
Exactly.
For the individual.
You are your own enough. You are your own comparison, actually.
Multiple times I've had like this massive craving where like I wanted to drink so bad these past few, maybe not days, but like weeks, month. And I finished my film, my story in my head. I'm going to pick up the first drink. I'm going to have a second, then 20 more. Yeah. And then I'm going to drive drunk. I'm going to hit like somebody maybe on the road. I'm going to lose everything. And then what's the end of the movie? We don't know. Are you ready to take that gamble? I'm not ready. I just don't want to end up alone. I just want to be happy. And by being happy is like not drinking, not using. And like even I don't want to take anything that can like modify my state of mind. Weed, mushrooms. The only thing that I sometimes drink is Red Bull when we have like shows that start at 11, 12 a.m. Yeah. Like 11 p.m., 12 a.m. And because I'm just too exhausted because I go to bed at 9:30, 10 and I wake up at 5, 6 a.m. and I love it.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
I love it, man.
Any closing thoughts? Closing thoughts?
Yeah, sure. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I thought for so many years that I was a lost cause. And you're not a lost cause, man. Like, you're worth saving. And by saving, it's when you decide to stop, like using or drinking. Everything pass. That's something that my girlfriend promised me. Yeah. Like, that's a promise that my girlfriend like made to me is that every craving passes, and she was right. Give it time, and it's so worth it. My life is beautiful, man.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rick?
For me, I encourage people to speak. Like, if you think you're struggling with addiction or alcoholism, just find someone who is in a recovery process and maybe just go and speak with him, or go to an AA or an NA meetings, or just write to Sober Motivation or me or Chester. And
that's right,
we're gonna, for sure. We're gonna every shows I do there's because my show is really about mental health in men's perspectives and in addiction. Because my friend, he committed suicide due to addiction. This is why I called my album Forever Reckless. Anyway, if you guys want to know about it, just write to me. But or we could talk about it some more later on in life. Yeah. But I always end my show with that song called Reckless, and I always say that I lost a friend because he wasn't speaking enough, and I feel like if he would have opened up more with us, maybe we could have saved him. So if you feel like shit, there's people around you that loves you for sure.
And you deserve to be happy.
You're not alone, and you deserve to be happy. And like, if nobody answers, just give me a quick chat on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll try best as I can to answer you. So it's valid for all of your community also, and people that watches that podcast. Like, I'm here for you guys if there's anything. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, there it is, another incredible episode here on the podcast. Oh, it's such a treat having Rick Duff and Chester here in my basement, quote unquote, studio for that recording. It was really interesting just to see their journey together, struggling with all of this, and some of the perspectives and some of the struggles were actually really interesting as I went back through and edited this episode and checked everything out. I'll drop their Instagram contacts down in the show notes, but I want to leave you with this. Down in the basement, they performed the song Downstairs, and have a listen. I think it's an incredible song, and what Rick Duff kind of shaped it up with, relatable to his story and the change he's made and the change that Chester has made. And this episode is actually coming out on Chester's 9 months. It's been really cool to get to know Chester and to hear his entire story like this and where he's at today. I definitely know that I'm incredibly proud of him, and so many people around him are. And it really goes to show you that anything is possible. It doesn't all happen overnight. Everything doesn't change overnight. But with time, things do improve. So thank you guys for listening. And check this out, Downstairs.
All right, so this song is called Downstairs.
Thought all my demons hardened for long. I thought I was healed. For a minute they were gone. So here lies a dreamer. This time he surrenders through all of his fears and all of his wrongs. Oh, my good Father, place your love upon my head. Take a moment with me here to answer my prayers. Feels like I'm running in circles between the jack and a saddle. I'll be right over there if you care. There's a man asking for you downstairs with a beer in his hands. I know I tend to bury my feelings with a stiff drink, a quick smoke. I just hold on to choke while the engines are running. Now, oh my good Father, place your love upon my head. Take a moment with me here to answer my prayers. Feels like I'm running in circles between the jack and the saddle. Well, I'll be right over there if you care. There's a man asking for you then. now I can't hide. Now, oh my good Father, you placed your love upon my chest. Well, I can feel all the spirits are moving. My life is about to change, and I cry. Between the crowd and a fiddle, I'll be right over there if you care. There's a man asking for you downstairs. Oh yeah, I'll be right over there if you care. There's a man asking for you downstairs. Asking for you downstairs. Thank you guys.
What happened there?
I don't know, man. I just got
You're like emotional?
yeah,